For more perspective on how the unrest in Hong Kong has been affecting the economy, we turn to John Gong. He is the professor of economics at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing. Thanks very much for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. John, I want to kind of cut right to it. In many ways, it isn't a shock that the protests are having this kind of effect. They're splashed across TVs and internet virtually every day. But what is this doing to people spending money on Prada, Gucci, and other high-end brands in Hong Kong?
Well, the luxury market in Hong Kong is actually mostly driven by tourist industry, especially the tourists coming from mainland China. But we have to keep in mind that before the unrest started in Hong Kong, the luxury market in Hong Kong is already having some problems because of competition from Macau, from other places around the world. And also, a lot of people in China have already traveled to Hong Kong. So Hong Kong needs to, 10 years ago was a very attractive place, but now you have to provide some other attractiveness to attract tourists. So in that regard, and also I want to mention the high rising real estate price in Hong Kong that drives the rental prices very high, for a lot of stores operating there. And I've already seen news that the many luxury stores are closing and move the shops to Macau. So I think it's already having some problem. But now with this unrest, it's just adding, fuel to the fire. It's making the industry even more difficult. So I think in the long run, Hong Kong, has a serious problem here, especially in consideration of the, competition from Macau, from Hainan Island in China, and also people in China want to travel further and into more exotic places, things like Dubai, places like Dubai and other places.
John, can I jump in here? In the story that preceded this interview, the reporter pointed out that Hong Kong is the most visited city for the 8th year in a row. Now, tell me about some of the specifics that Hong Kong has that shoppers really want. For example, it's a convenient hub, and it is a leading exporter of high-end Swiss watches. So what specifically are the shoppers who go to Hong Kong, what are they looking for, or is it just the experience?
Well, I think, I've been to Hong Kong many times. My experience is that, virtually all these luxury items in Hong Kong are also available in competing areas that I've just talked about. I think, the people used to go to mainland people used to go to Hong Kong for the reason that the taxes there are lower and the prices are lower. But now, this lower prices is facing a challenge because of the, rising rental price. I don't see the prices in Hong Kong. I think especially Hong Kong is a very big airport, and a lot of stores operating on a Hong Kong airport, and people make transits at that airport, and a lot of people shop over there. And I don't see the prices there being attractive anymore compared to other places.
And also this disruption is significant because if you think about it, this massive middle class in mainland China is now eager to shop, and they want to spend their money. What are the short-term consequences, and what are the long-term consequences when you talk about these added attractions to Macau and other areas?
Well, first of all, I think Macau is more attractive because it has a very, very large gambling industry. And if you go to Cotai Strip, it's very much like the Strip in Las Vegas. And I just came back a few weeks ago from Macau, and the traffic there is just unbelievable. There are a lot of people on the streets, and also they have indoor shoppings. Connecting several hotels. It's very much a nice experience over there. And I think in terms of the impact on Hong Kong economy, my concern is really mostly for the long term. In the short run, we already know that the tourist industry is going down, the luxury market is going up. But over the long term, whether this market will recover, I had this very horrible example in mind. In the 1960s, Newark in New Jersey went through a series of riots there, and the city was never able to recover. So the problem with Hong Kong is whether it's going to go down that path. And that is very concerning to me. And I hope it's not going to go down that path. But I think there's a real danger here that if things not settling down, if the Hong Kong city government doesn't do anything about it and to try to regroup people and develop the economy, it's going to be following the path of Newark. That's the most concerning issue here.
I think you'd find some people say it's a stretch to compare Hong Kong to Newark, New Jersey, but I understand what you're saying. John, thanks very much. I'm sure we're going to bring you back in. Let's hope this ends and things get back to normal soon. Thank you very much.